Now begins the recitation of the revelation word of the Divine Avataric Master, Paramasaptana Adigal Samraj. This is actively, responsively, be my devotee, from the Dawn Horse Testament. The only by me revealed and given radical reality way of the heart, or radical reality way of Adidam, is the avatarically self-revealed divine radical reality way of the heart itself. And the heart itself always already realizes and, in reality, is the inherent, or native, or always already and self-evidently divine truth. The only by me revealed and given radical reality way of the heart, or radical reality of Adidam, is the avatarically self-revealed divine way of non-separateness, or the self-evidently divine heart way of counteractive, or actively ego-transcending responsibility for the otherwise always arising total psychophysical action that is egoity, or the ego I, or the primal act of Narcissus, which is the total psychophysical act of self-contraction and the constant action of total psychophysical separation, separateness and separativeness. The only by me revealed and given radical reality way of the heart, or radical reality way of Adidam, is the avatarically self-revealed divine devotional way of me recognizing and to me responding, and total psychophysical self-surrender to and into my avatarically self-revealed divine form and presence and state of grace, which is the devotional and, in due course, transcendental spiritual way of more and more effective counter-egoic action, or the devotionally active and, in due course, transcendentally spiritually active and more effective way of the surrender of the totality of psychophysical self-contraction, or the devotionally active and, in due course, transcendentally spiritually active and effective way of transcending the ego I, through ego surrendering, ego forgetting, ego transcending, and altogether total psychophysical devotional communion with and total psychophysical infusion by the by me and as me avatarically self-revealed, and by me and as me avatarically given or self-transmitted, and inherently non-separate, and inherently perfect, and perfectly subjective, and inherently self-bright or self-existing, and self-radiant divine transcendental spiritual reality and truth. The only by me revealed and given radical reality way of the heart, or radical reality way of Adidam, fully devotionally established, and by me transcendentally spiritually activated, is the avatarically self-revealed way of divine transcendental spiritual grace, wherein the free gift of most fundamental self-understanding is, in due course, awakened in my devotees, through the moment-to-moment exercise of searchless and truly effectively ego-transcending devotional me beholding, or me recognition, and subsequent devotionally responsive feeling communion with me. Therefore, if you are responding to this, my word of heart, and if you are by this heart moved to transcend and be free of the otherwise constant act and results of Narcissus, and if you are heart attracted to or toward my avatarically born bodily human divine form, because it is bright to you, and to or toward my avatarically self-transmitted transcendental spiritual and always blessing divine presence, because it is the tangible fullness of self-evidently divine love bliss, and to, or toward, my avatarically self-revealed and very and transcendental and perfectly subjective and inherently spiritual and intrinsically egoless and inherently perfect and self-evidently divine state, because it tacitly self-reveals the one and self-bright divine reality and truth. And if you would, by always merely remembering and beholding me, forget separate and separative self, or the eager I, or total psychophysical self-contraction, appearing as body, emotion, breath, and all of mind, then yield to me, embrace my 7 giving gifts, and practice the avatarically self-revealed divine radical reality way of the heart, in my gracefully self-revealing human, spiritual, transcendental, and divine company. The only by me revealed and given radical reality way of the heart, fully devotionally established and by me transcendentally spiritually activated, is the necessary formal practice of devotional and transcendental spiritual communion with me, or the eager surrendering and eager forgetting, and really effectively eager transcending circumstance and discipline of constant or moment-to-moment whole bodily or total psychophysical searchless or truly non-seeking, actively me beholding, actively to me responding, actively responsively me locating and me knowing, and always effectively eager transcending, or really effectively self-contraction yielding, feeling contemplation with me. Do this me beholding for its own sake, merely to abide in whole bodily or total psychophysical communion with me, and not passively and partially, as if waiting for devotion to happen to you, rather than always presently remembering, invoking and locating me, and thereupon responsively allowing the presently inevitable feeling of my inherent bright attractiveness, and thereby most simply always and fully activating my always given and given gift of inherent devotion to me, and not cleverly and strategically with all seeking effort and no heart response intent, but not yielding, stressful with the seeking of me, rather than happy with the finding of me. But do this me beholding constantly, as a total psychophysical act, moment to moment, always merely by heart, and thus by the feeling exercise of the total body-mind, and thus by whole bodily feeling to my avatarically born bodily human divine form, and more by whole bodily feeling into my avatarically self-transmitted transcendental spiritual and always blessing divine presence, and more by whole bodily feeling my very and verily avatarically self-revealed and freely inherently perfect state. Here ends. This is actively, responsively be my devotee from the Dawn Hall's Testament. Here ends the recitation of the revelation word of the Divine Avataric Master, Paramasaptana Adidar Samraj. Da.